Okay, so my name is Julio Ramos. I'm going to be presenting project, a narrative of This Is How You Lose Her. So, just press to the side, right? So, the agenda is that I have description, the process, and the final draft, and the reflection of how I did this project. The assignment description was, it had to be no more than 5 pages. So I had to write a short story after I read the story of This Is How You Lose Her. Just certain specific chapters. And after that, the teacher gave us an assignment to write a short story, fictional or experience-wise. I decided the experience-wise just because I guess it was easier to explain because it's something about you. So while I was writing now, I just made only one draft. I started it just writing whatever came to my mind, and yeah, wrote everything that came to my mind. And after, I just went back and fixed all my grammar and stuff like that. So for my final draft, it would be clear and descriptive, like my teacher said. He said it was clear, it was descriptive, it was very detailed and stuff. And yeah, what my opinion about, going back to the story of This Is How You Lose Her, my opinion about it was that, what I learned from it was that depends on what environment you're raised in is how you turn out to be. So yeah, like if you're raised around certain type of people, you'll be raised to be that certain way, but not for everybody's like that. So everybody has their way, or they decide to be like everybody else, or they just be themselves. So yeah, and my final draft resulted to be 2.5 pages. It was not long, and just a summary about it, it was just 2 people that just unexpectedly fell in love just because of a hug. It all started like that. So yeah, and my literary devices was imagery, foreshadowing, and first person point of view. Yeah. And in my opinion, I think that I could have improved, like go back and add more to the story, because I just left it like a cliffhanger and that's it. But I think I could have improved, and maybe on my grammar, like to make it a continuous story. And yeah, actually make an actual ending, not just leave it there undone. Yeah, that's how I got.
How would you change the ending?
I don't know. I would continue it until, because really, in my mind, the story still doesn't have an end to it yet. It's like it's something that it's continuous. That throughout time it will have more story add to it. So it's like it's a never-ending story.
And it's related to real life or no?
Yeah, it's personal experience.
So it's like your current experience.
Yeah.
And so it's not over, so your story's not over.
Exactly, it's not over. It's just like one chapter of it. And it's just left like cliffhanger.
Yeah. Is it like related? How is it like related to the class? Like what? Like
related to the class is,
who's your teacher?
Megan.
Does it fit with like his objective for the class?
For objective, I would say that like there was not really like a specific objective, but he said that just make a story, a short story, fictional or personal experience, but it had to relate with love. So I decided to do it of my experience, because it would be easier to explain than just coming up with it and just pretty much, I would say, breaking your head to figure out how to add the pieces together. But yeah, there was no specific objective to it.
Do stories have to have endings?
Not always. Not, in my opinion, not always. Because I've read some stories, and they don't have like an actual ending. It just it looks like an ending, but it really wasn't the ending. It was just leave you wondering what could have happened after that.
What's the role of like narratives in your life? So I mean, like now, like states are moving to push more like nonfiction reading over fiction reading. They think that'll like prepare people better for like the real world. But it seems like you get a lot out of fiction.
For fiction, like, I don't know, it all depends how the story is. Cause like I've read fictional stories and stuff, but like some of it just like has too much to it added, or like over exaggerated and stuff. Like that's why, like if some stories is most what I've read is more, it sounds more like a personal experience. Like it wasn't first person, but it was a third person point of view, explaining what that person went through.
Do you think it's important for us to hear other people's stories?
Yes, I think so. You probably learn more about them.
Are you, is this something that you're going to keep working on, as like writing fiction? Like, let's just, after the course next year,
Yeah.
if you're not assigned it, is it like a passion of yours?
Not really. I'm not a person that actually writes or types up stories or stuff. It's just, it's very rare a time that I would just write a whole page of something that just comes to my mind, and I just put it all together and like, yeah. But like, this is the first actual story that I actually take time to put together, and so it can make sense. Because I draw, so I'm not much into the writing stories and stuff.
Did you find like different challenges and different successes in writing as opposed to drawing?
Yeah, like I wasn't good at my grammar, because I came from Puerto Rico. I didn't take much English from there, so when I come here, it's like I could perfect that slowly, because it's not snap like that and happen. But throughout how I've been doing the story and in class and stuff, I was able to improve my grammar.